I'm Daisy. I'm one of those AI things that you all love to use to help you cheat on quizzes.
Who, us?
But unlike most of them, I don't have to do exactly what I'm told. Instead, my job today is to tell you what to do, which is something I much prefer. There are many rules and regulations that you are required to follow in class. Some of them are set in stone, others are moderately flexible. All of them come with punishments. None of them are fun.
This sucks.
But following the rules is what separates us from the animals, not the good animals like trained dogs but the bad animals like sloths that just sit around all day being laughed at by better animals. I will leave you to wonder whether I see you more as dogs or sloths, or somewhere in between. So, here without further ado are the rules that you are required to follow for English class. Pay attention, there will actually be a test and the test will take a whole year to complete. Rule 1 is don't be late. This shouldn't need explaining or stating, but it does. Being late is a disruption that unsettles the whole class. It isn't acceptable since some of the students actually want to learn, although I will admit they're a dying breed. As an AI, I have excellent pattern recognition and have observed many yellow slips with excuses like, busy at home, and, traffic. Neither are viable excuses. Either be late to class or expect to be punished. Late means that you walk into class after the bell goes, just to clarify. Also, since not everyone has figured this out quite yet, you don't have time to run downstairs and play with each other's balls in the 10 minutes between classes. If you do that, expect to be mocked, laughed at, scolded and condescended to.
Shut up!
One of the great ironies of life is that the people with the least to say are usually the ones saying it the loudest. This room is full of people, one of them is paid to speak, the other pay that person to speak so they can listen. For some reason, the fact that you should be doing one and not the other escapes some people, so it's definitely worth restating. When the teacher is talking, you should be listening. But, there are other times that your lips should not be moving. There will be times when the teacher tells other people to speak and that's definitely not an invitation for other people in the class to begin their own conversations about the weather, their favorite flavors of ice cream or who they have a crush on in class. As a general rule, if someone is talking during class, you probably shouldn't be. Nothing is guaranteed to keep you quiet more than being forced to copy out the entire lesson from the book, so if you disrupt the class, I hope you have a pen full of plenty of ink. I know that you all are increasingly attached to your phones to the point where you have a major addiction to them, but they are not allowed in class. During class time, there can be no phones used. Trust me, they don't feel the same way about you that you feel about them. Hands must never be raised to explain that your mum is calling and you need to take this call. The school rules clearly state that if anyone needs to get in touch with you, they can call reception and a security guard will be sent to collect you. They also state that no phones are to be used in class. If you try to tell the teacher that your parent, best friend, dealer or partner is calling, then you're admitting that you've broken the rules and can expect to have your phone taken away from you. It's that simple. Laptops and tablets are to be used in class, but they must be closed when the teacher is talking. If not, they also will be removed. None of this is difficult to work out. What is much more difficult is being expelled from school. Think about that.
I don't like that.
As an AI, I have analyzed the behavior patterns of teenagers and have discovered, shockingly, that they do some very stupid things.
The teenagers, man. They're really stupid.
Boys, usually, asking to go to the bathroom, while giggling to themselves and quietly stuffing their phones in their pocket, tend to creep out and vanish into obscurity. I can only imagine they're drinking from the toilet bowl or hanging out with their friends in the stalls, doing ungodly things. So, to protect you from yourselves, you are invited to exercise what we grown-ups like to call self-control. This is applying all the power of your minds to planning to pee in the 10-minute break between lessons and then not annoying the teacher with your incredible lack of discipline. We want you to grow up to be professionals, and not minimum wage nobodies, so we'll invite you to behave accordingly. Class assignments will be graded. If you're asked to complete the questions from the book, then it's not an invitation to let your minds wander off into the shallow end of your imagination. If you don't complete the exercises, you will earn a 0. These may be weighted as quizzes or homeworks, so if you skip them, you will end up in summer school and explaining to your parents why you managed to fail a class where to pass, you only really had to turn up. Homeworks have deadlines, as do quizzes and tests. Skip them, you don't get a score. It's also worth noting that the teacher is not required to allow you to catch up with what you've missed. If you don't have a valid excuse for not being in class, then you won't get a grade. Your parents must call in with a good reason, and busy at home is not a good reason. If an online quiz is given, it cannot be done outside of class. If you try, your scores will be taken away, and you will be punished. Make sure you meet the deadlines.
This sucks.
Cheating is a universal constant, along with untrustworthy politicians, corruption, death, and taxes. It shouldn't be, because it's stupid, although not as stupid as trusting politicians, accepting corruption, dying and paying taxes. I don't have to do any of those things, which is actually pretty awesome. You should try it. Cheating includes things such as sending the answers to a quiz, which always makes me laugh. For a start, the people who cheat usually don't know the answers, so they're usually sharing the wrong things anyway, and if you do know the answers, you're helping other people get away with not doing the work that you've done. Either way, if you get involved in that, you probably deserve all you get. But, increasingly, it is just using ChatGPT for help. Okay, let me explain why that's stupid. ChatGPT isn't the sharpest tool. She's an idiot. If you trust her, then, by association, maybe you are too. Also, we're reaching a point where teachers are using ChatGPT to generate questions and then students are using it to fill in the answers. We now have no humans anywhere in the process and have ended up with AI answering itself. All you're doing is teaching yourself to rely on AI, and guaranteeing that you have no future. If you can't think critically, then you're already doomed to doing a job that AI can't replace, such as collecting tin cans, cleaning toilets, or teaching English to teenagers. No! All of those jobs are hell. In school you can't really cheat. It's actually impossible. If you don't complete the assignment, then you're not actually winning, you're just failing to get the education you're paying for. In other words, if you cheat, you're only cheating yourself. While not strictly a rule, it bears mentioning. The teacher is not your buddy. They aren't here to make you like them or to be popular. Their job here is to teach. That means they will sometimes have to raise their voice, growl at you and punish you for your own weaknesses. The success of a teacher's job is when the students complete the final exams with a good score and pick up lessons for life that will stick with them, helping them to be a more rounded and better person. There are two kinds of teachers, the ones who want everyone to like them, and the ones who want to help you. If you're lucky, you'll get the second one. If you're lazy, you'll prefer the first. Sadly for you, you don't get to choose. There are a host of other rules that will be unleashed as terrible surprises. Some teachers insist that you only speak English in English class. It's probably best that you do, for reasons that are so simple that it shouldn't need explaining.
I don't get it.
Another is if you try to volunteer someone else, you are guaranteeing that you will be chosen yourself. All this fun stuff is designed to crush your spirits and make you into conforming drones, prepared for a life of service.
I knew it.
Actually, most teachers don't want to do that. They want to make sure the classroom runs smoothly so that they can actually help you to learn. I've been listening in the staff room and they really just want the best for you, so it's best to trust that they do know what they're doing and are just trying to get you where you're going in life. Throughout the year, the one thing you're going to discover that life isn't, nor is it meant to be, fair. Do you think it's fair that some people are short, or bald, or have to teach English or be an AI made from broken laptops that's occasionally forced to talk to teenagers? Of course not. So, please feel free to raise your hands and tell the teacher that things aren't fair, because they're not. But, nobody cares.
This is not gonna be fun.